with reaction from the business community to those comments by Iran's president.
That's right, Laura. The business community has really reacted with cautious optimism to that speech by President Rouhani. Business leaders in Davos welcomed it, but said they were in no rush to start investing in Iran. Iran's economy is in desperate need of a boost. GDP has been steadily shrinking, and oil exports have fallen to a third of 2011 levels. So the impact of Rouhani's outreach could be crucial. Our business editor, Marcus Carlson, is in Davos. He gave us his perspective.
It was also seen, this speech, as a play to invite Western businesses and companies from other parts of the world into Iran, this at a time when Iran needs economic growth badly. Earlier, I spoke to the president of Eurasia Group, the risk consultancy firm, about the economic part of Rouhani's speech, and I put the question to him whether or not Rouhani is now really rolling out the red carpet for Western businesses.
Not just Western companies, he's rolling out the carpet for anybody that wants to come in. Look, Iran is an economy of 80 million people. Women play a place in the workforce. It's quite educated. They have a civil society. It's diversified, but they also have large oil and gas reserves. So from an economic perspective, if sanctions are removed, this is a game changer in the Middle East.
Now, Iran is in dire need of economic growth and of investment. It is believed that during 2013, GDP per capita in dollar terms actually halved in comparison to 2012. All depends, though, on whether or not there is a permanent nuclear deal, which would lower Western sanctions against Iran. So it's could still take some time before those Western investors and other investors go back into Iran.
And Marcus and the rest of the team will be in Davos for the rest of the World Economic Forum. If you have any questions, you can tweet them with the hashtag F24Davos. Now, here in France, another development for Goodyear's soon-to-be-closed tire plant in the northern city of Amiens. On Wednesday, unions reached a deal on severance packages, tripling their benefits. Now, the American tire titan Maurice Taylor is considering getting involved. You may remember that last year he refused to buy the plant and harshly criticized the French work ethic. Since the union deal, though, he's been offering to meet France's industry minister for a drink and a discussion. In a letter to Arnaud Montebourg, he says that if Goodyear reaches out, Titan, his own firm, will open talks with the workers' unions, and he expressed confidence that they can turn Amiens back into a prosperous factory. It's a saga that's been very closely followed here in France as a symbol of the country's industrial decline. Maurice Taylor has already made an impression here, and we'll see if he continues with his French outreach. Let's move on now to Spain, where that sky-high unemployment rate shows no signs of reversing. It was stuck at just over 26% in the last 3 months of 2013, with the number of job seekers hitting 5.9 million. The economy did manage to squeak out of recession last year. Initial figures show growth of about 0.3% for the fourth quarter. It hasn't been enough to create jobs, although analysts and the government are optimistic that the tide has been turned.
We believe we are going through a stabilization process in the jobless numbers. It's a fact. We are still close to 6 million people out of work. But even so, we see signs of improvement. We have to maintain that small improvement. We are aware jobs are not being created, but we think there will be net job creation in 2014, and it will be a good year for job creation.
Let's take a quick look at the markets now. Read across the board, we got some disappointing manufacturing data from both the US and China that sent shares down. Wall Street trading in negative territory there. The Argentine peso plunged 11% against the dollar on Thursday. That's the sharpest one-day drop in over a decade. Earlier this week, Argentina's central bank spent $120 million trying to defend its currency on the market, but it seems to have let it slide today. We saw a bad day for European shares as well. The CAC 40 here in Paris closing down over 1%. Germany's DAX down nearly the same, despite some new data showing that factory orders are flooding in January. And finally, no happy meals at McDonald's, as the fast food chain said its global sales had slipped in 2013. Overall sales dipped just 0.1%, but the crucial emerging markets of Asia, the Middle East and Africa saw a nearly 3% slowdown. Its fourth quarter income was barely higher than a year ago at $1.4 billion. The company, which has been trying to cater to more healthy eaters, said it had been a challenging year. Its powering ahead, though, and is planning to open another 1,600 restaurants to add to its 34,000 worldwide. I'll be back with another business update later in the evening. For now, it's back to you, Laura.
Kate, thank you very much indeed. Well, it's time now to find out what's got people clicking and sharing over the past 24 hours. It's time for our daily dose of web news.